Yo, ho, ho. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Don Mafia Live, your go-to show for all late and breaking NFL news, accompanied by some of the best amateur analysis in the business. What's going on, everybody? I see some of the familiar faces here in the live chat. You did read that title correctly. I feel like this entire week of minicamp has been completely dominated by the Stephon Diggs story. But you know what happened, ladies and gentlemen? You know what happened, Bills Mafia? We actually had a practice, okay? And there was some other storylines that essentially just got swept under the rug. No one cared. Nobody talked about them, okay? So today, we are going to be talking about some of like the good things that we saw at camp, some of the scariest things that we saw at camp. And luckily, I ended up finding this beautifully articulated article by Joe Buscaglia from The Athletic. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to feel like we're back in elementary school where Dan's just going to sit here and read you some articles. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to be going through some of the takeaways while I share my screen, look through some of the big things, and then we're going to go on ahead and talk about these one-on-one because there's 5 major takeaways from what this article is suggesting, going from how Allen looked in 11-on-11 drills, which looks absolutely incredible. Some very good chemistry being built between Sherfield, and then also looks like Khalil Shakir and Gabe Davis had a hell of a day. How our offensive line is looking, and then a surprising who is going to be CB2 going into this year. So a lot to go over. As always, guys, Don Mafia Live, the 11 a.m. show, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST. Mark your calendars, turn on your notifications. Is brought to you by the Monta Sleep Mask, okay? I'm not sure about you guys, but sleep is an integral part of my life. If I don't sleep, then I'm not productive. I'm a lazy piece of shit. This thing right here has allowed me to achieve maximum REM sleep and even be able for me to take a nap. It's been impossible for me to take a nap my entire life, really. Ever since I got this thing, completely blacks out everything. I can't see shit, and I can really sit back, take a snooze, wake up rejuvenated, and make sure that you guys are entertained during Bill's Mafia happy hour, because that's what needs to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Staring at a computer screen for a long time gets you tired. In fact, I'm surprised my eyesight is still at 20/20. I should probably go see an eye doctor at some point. But this Monta Sleep Mask, y'all, I'm telling you, listen, don't sleep on the sleep mask. This thing is life-changing. Great gift, too. Girlfriend, say, for example, that you want to make sure that your girl goes to sleep at night and she's not waking you up at 2 a.m. to talk. Okay, you want to make sure that she achieves that REM sleep right then and there. Monta Sleep Mask, link is in the description and pinned at the top of this live chat. Highly recommend. I love this thing. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take a nap once I'm done with this whole little stream. I'm seeing a lot of people. Come in here. A lot of the familiar faces. Crispy rolling on in saying, what's up, Dan? How's your day? Dude, my day is going fantastic. The Buffalo Bills are essentially on summer break. So now, right up until training camp starts. In fact, let me see, what day does Bills training camp start? I believe it is July 15th, right? Let me see. What are the dates? No. Bills training camp is likely to begin on July 25th in 2023. Okay, so we have a solid month and about a week and a half where the rest of this offseason, content-wise, for me, is going to be a lot of speculation, right? 53-man roster. Who's going to make it? Did the Buffalo Bills get better? What are some things that our offense needs to improve on? Our defense needs to improve on so we can actually make a Lombardi run, which I'm still dying on that hill, baby. I'm still dying on that hill. I know exactly what that's like. Crispy, day is going great. Long-winded answer. I am doing fantastic. Make sure you do smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, as you come in. Great way to support the channel. It takes less than a second. It's completely free, and it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Definitely do that. Would be much, much appreciated. Leah, what's going on? Now, listen, I know that Leah comes in on a regular basis, and she typically tunes in from work, which I sincerely appreciate. You were very sweet for that. Not a lot. We did end up canceling the last day of minicamp today. No need to worry whatsoever. It's very textbook. A lot of teams cancel these entirely. Sometimes they go on ahead and they cancel the last day. A lot of the times is just to preserve the culture. It's basically like you show up to work and your boss is just like, hey, guys, guess what? Day off on me. Summer Fridays, summer vacation starts early. Nothing to see here. But in today's episode, I was saying right before the vast majority of you got in, I feel like a lot of us missed some of the main storylines that came out of minicamp because everything was so centralized around the Stephon Diggs drama that there was so many things that went down in training camp and some good things too that we should be excited about that not many people talked about. So today we're going to be going through a couple of things of what a lot of reporters are seeing, what I would say some people are suggesting. Like there's like a lot of chemistry being built with some of these new receivers. Josh Allen apparently looked fantastic. And then also the CB2 competition, which I believe some of us in the chat have called, like we called it from the beginning. But like I said, I found this great article from Joe Biscaglia, and we're just going to go through all of his main points so we can go on ahead and learn together and then figure this out. Let's talk about that. John Marlowe's coming in. He's letting me know. He's like, Dan, it's July 25th. I know. So now we got some days, bro. We have about a little less than about 40-something days right until training camp. So that's going to be a thing. The Trek reviewer is coming in calling me Mother Goose. That's interesting. What's up, Nick? Hope all is well, buddy. Hope your morning is going well. Dude, my boy Dante. Yo, dude, by the way, your music is dope, okay? And you did tell me that you were going to send me over some of your tracks. I tried looking through my inbox and I don't think I've seen it. Shoot me a DM and then resend it for me because I do want to use it because I need like some like new music so that I could put on for like intros and outros. Of course, say that you're cool with me using it. If that's the case, man, hit me up because I tried looking for your email and I couldn't find it. Maybe, I don't know, but let's get that going because I'm a big fan of what you're doing, man. You are very talented. What if you're scared of the dark? If you're scared of the dark, my friend, oh man, Spin's coming in with these hot questions right over here. Dissy is coming in saying, Dan, how do you feel about the team morale? I'm not going to lie to you, man. And guys, we're going to get into these storylines about minicamp, but I just want to address this from the very jump. I feel like it's a bickering Bills 2023. I kind of do, right? I feel like that there's some sort of animosity between the players and the coaches. I think that if you read between the lines and you look at what Vaughn said during his interview when Steph didn't show up, what Josh Allen said during his interview, it sounds like that there's a disconnect right now. Like they feel like that there's not like a solid plan or solid communication going into this season. I feel like it's slightly bickering Bills. I hope that it's nothing significant. I hope it's just a slight bump in the road. But I know that all of us know back in the 90s during that bickering Bills era, that following year was when we ended up going to the Super Bowl, or that year we ended up going into the Super Bowl. So let's hope that history repeats itself. But I think the writing's on the wall. I don't think that our culture right now is not toxic, but I definitely don't think it's perfect. I definitely don't think it's perfect whatsoever. I think that there's a big disconnect between the players and the coaches. That's me. That's just my take. Some of you may disagree with me on that, but I'm not liking some of the signs. We on top. Go Bills. Forces RW. I saw you in the AFC East roundtable last night. I saw my boy coming in. Leah, what do you do for work? And so I hope Trey Day looked like his old shutdown self early in the year. Smiley716 is coming in. And, dude, from what reporters are saying, from like some of the clips I've seen from Trey White, dude looks like he's moving. I wouldn't have been able to guess that he was coming off of an ACL injury. He seems to have healed tremendously. I am so ready for him to be on his revenge tour. I really am. Because when was the last time that man got any significant media attention? I would even say from like even Bills media for the most part. Like, yeah, he's touched on, but dude looks good. And I really hope he's out there with a vengeance. And I hope he sneaks his way back up on that damn top 10 CB list just to show everything. Smirky out, what up, bro? Hope all is well. Dante, my guy, once again. And so I work at a school. That shit is not happening. Who knows, man? And so find a closet, just take a nap. You know what I mean? Mon's a sleep mask. And so I just got out of a Zoom meeting. Boring. Leah, a long time ago, right before I sort of started doing YouTube full time, I worked for, in the tech industry. So I was a sales guy. I sold software. It was a great career, but those Zoom meetings were absolutely terrible. My mind, my ADHD was always on 100% overdrive. And half of the meetings I was ever in should have been an email. I will die by that. And I die by that right now. I have a rule because we ended up taking the AFC East roundtable and we ended up making it into an official business. So I basically told all of my partners, I said, look, like number one rule. If we can address something over an email, we are addressing something over an email. We are not going to sit down for an hour-long Zoom meeting that could have easily been resolved by 2 paragraphs. We will see. Crispy is coming in saying, hot take, Aaron Rodgers is going to be this year's version of Russell Wilson. I don't know, man. Here's the thing with the difference between this is that like Aaron Rodgers has the familiarity with the offensive coordinator. So I think he's going to do just fine. I think Russell Wilson, he was just under a defensive-minded head coach. Guy had no idea what the hell he was doing. I'm not counting Russell Wilson out this year. I'm not willing to say that he's washed, but we'll see what Russ does. But man, I think that first game is going to be a nail biter. As much as I want it to be a blowout, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be, bro, I'm not going to be, I am not going to be pissed if we roll up to MetLife week 1, Monday Night Football, and we put an absolute fucking beatdown on the Jets. I would love that. But they're going to be a good team this year. And I would be lying if I told you. I would be lying if I told you if I was not nervous about that. Nick's coming in saying, I love your videos. Yo, bro, listen, man, I love you. Thank you so much for the support, brother. I really appreciate all of you guys that rock with me on a weekly basis, for sure. My pops is happy that Diggs did this. He watched all the Super Bowl losses. He wants to win. Sometimes the bickering Bills personality is good just to light a fire under the coach's ass. I've said this before, and I've said it again. I feel like what the players wanted to see was that they wanted an action plan from Sean McDermott. I feel like that after a while, they just got sick of trust the process, trust the process. They were like, no, absolutely not. Whip up the whiteboard right now and draw up every scenario that we were in last year that we couldn't deliver and show us how we are going to get out of that. Show us how we are going to adapt in situations when we are down, when the weather is bad. Like I said, this is all speculation. We have no idea what we're talking about. It's all in-house. But my educated guess is that's the difference and that's the animosity between the players and the coaches. Because let's be honest with ourselves, ladies and gents. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let me know if I'm wrong here. Every single playoff loss that we have had last 3 years, coaching. 110%. It was not players. It was nothing. Coaching. I will die on that hill. So Bills are going to go off. Nobody believes in us anymore. I think that was our problem in the past 2 years. If we were getting hyped up too much and a lot of pressure was to put us on the year, it's the opposite. I hope that's the case. I loved when the Bills played with a chip on their shoulder. I really did. But we will see. Leah, property management. That's awesome. That's awesome. I have a property manager. He does a good job. And so he doesn't bother me. And so he just talks to my tenants on my behalf. It's always a good thing. Solid tenants, too. Nice little family from New Jersey. No issues. I'm not getting calls about parties or anything like that or anything. So I could definitely see how property management's a solid career for sure. Steph posted the picture of Josh and tagged him, so it's 100% not a problem with him and Josh. Yeah, man, I saw that too, Ian. I didn't necessarily think that it was, especially since Josh ended up attending his charity event a couple of weeks ago. But it's nice. I'm glad that it's water under the bridge. Let's get in the lab. Let's make it work. And for the love of God, none of our star players, don't do any pickup basketball games. Don't do anything. Work out, obviously, stay in shape, but don't do anything reckless. Okay? And so I see my boy Snowman like all the time out in Florida, like whipping jet skis. He sounds like the man, and I would love to hang out with him one day. Snowman's the man, but bro, be careful on them jet skis and backflipping off of yachts, my guy. Okay? Need you healthy. Need you healthy. For the AFC East Roundtable, you guys should get Tyler TNNT on the show. He's really funny. That kid, bro, I'm sure he's not like this in real life. But I got to show you guys what this kid is, right? I've made a couple of videos. Like, I've tagged some of his stuff before. And let's just say, I think that's him. No. Dolphins fan. Yeah. Let me see if I can find him. Dude, there he is. Dude is oh my God, he's extra. He's very extra. Let me go ahead and play one of the videos for you guys. And there's been a couple of times where like I've stitched one of his videos on TikTok and like I think he like reported it like for bullying or something like that. And I didn't. So like he might be a little soft. I don't know. But let's go ahead and check out what he's got to say. Let's go ahead and check out what he's got to say. This one Bills video, I was ready to just absolutely go off, but
the Buffalo Bills are already imploding after the first day of minicamp. Stephon Diggs wasn't present to the mandatory minicamp today for the Buffalo Bills, and Sean McDermott told reporters that it was very concerning. This is just beautiful. Stephon Diggs don't want to be a Bill anymore. He wants out of there. Stephon's a smart man. He knows Josh Allen sucks and knows the team will never win a Super Bowl. So Bills, don't do him dirty. Let him go. Let him go somewhere that he wants to be. The Bills' downfall is upon us, and I am loving every single second of it. Fins up.
All right. So I never thought that somebody could be more obnoxious than TD when it comes to the Dolphins, but I stood corrected. I stood absolutely corrected. We got another super chat from my boy Forces. My boy, is Brady coming out of retirement? Unlikely. I haven't seen any sign that he was planning on doing it. He's planning on actually becoming a part owner of the Raiders, which is interesting. And then I saw like something on ESPN saying something like along the lines that he could still technically play, but I think like half of the owners have to vote that he can. But dude, I feel like he's done. I feel like he's done. Like, dude has accomplished so much. He lost his wife in the process. Like, he lost his wife in the process and stuff like that. So I don't think that he's wanting to go back into football. He's a very intelligent entrepreneur. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be his main focus to begin. Buy stocks is coming in. The Bengals game and the previous Pittsburgh game, Bills were a weird flat, no heart or no effort. Funny you say that because I'm trying to work something out. I bought this NFL package that allows me to like actually go through game film. It's been acting up really like strangely. So I'm hoping for Bills Mafia happy hour. That's what I was planning on doing, was actually looking through the Bengals game, that playoff game, and like seeing what the hell was wrong with our offense and maybe even what was wrong with our defense. I think that was pretty clear, but I agree. John Marlowe said Colin Cowherd said Sean McDermott should be fired. He's wild. Wario is coming in. Didn't age well. It definitely didn't age well. I love that. And so I need Buffalo to win a Super Bowl, score, can catch TD cry, and a temper tantrum he throws will be amazing. Absolutely. Clipped for days. And Andy, I found your TikTok, by the way, and the funniest thing is that like your only video is of when I made TD wear a Bills shirt. It was like 3 years ago, I think. So funny. So absolutely funny. All good. 30 years coming back. You should see the video when we beat them in the playoffs. Mike Green says he probably won't be gone, but he definitely will have a hotter seat than before. I definitely understand. I feel like dude needs to make the Super Bowl this year. He needs to make the Super Bowl in order for his seat not to be hot. That's me. No, let me take that back. Yeah, let me take that back. He at least needs to make the AFC Championship, and if we lose the AFC Championship, I'll knock on wood, it can't be due to a blatant coaching error. It can't be due to a blatant coaching mistake. That's the only way Sean McDermott is not on the hot seat for next year. I still think he has next year regardless of how this season pans out. Not unless, of course, like we get absolutely smoked or something in the playoffs, or we don't make the playoffs at all. But most of what Colin Cowherd says is absolute nonsense. Frazier held us back. I would probably have to agree with you on that. I mean, he was a great regular season coach, but like I said, dude, he just refused to ever adapt. He refused to adapt. He was so married to his scheme, and it fell to his detriment, and it hurt the Buffalo Bills in the process. Buy Stocks is coming in saying, been waiting for a Super Bowl since OJ and the Rock Pile. I was 7, tickets were $5. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be damn nice? $5 tickets to the Buffalo Bills, man. Y'all would go crazy for the amount of money that I spend on tickets in Buffalo Bills games every single year. Okay, so one last question, and then I want to get into some of the storylines of what happened in actual minicamp that is not surrounded about Stephon Diggs. Does D-Hop leave New England without a contract? I feel like D-Hop is going to either sign with the Pats or he's going to sign with the Titans, man. I feel like his whole thing, if he wants to play for a contender, was complete nonsense. It was just like a media head. I think, say that I wanted to guess, say that I wanted to guess, I think that he's going to join one of those two teams. The Pats definitely have the capital in order to pay the man, so I could see that potentially going down. I definitely could. All right. Anyway. So, and so you finally found that TikTok that just made my day. Consider me a TD troll. I love it. I absolutely love it. Make that your profile picture, which would be absolutely funny. Your stuff. Okay. Anyway, guys. All right. So we need to talk about some things that happened at camp. I'm not sure you may have seen this already. Somebody came in. First off, somebody just came in and said Kincaid is coming in, saying, "Dude, Thirsty Thursday for Bill's happy hour later." Dude, absolutely, man. Whip out the cocktails. Bill's Mafia happy hour is coming in. If I can figure out this film situation, because I just bought this subscription to NFL Plus, I wanted to go through so we can drink our sorrows away. But I have to see if Diggs was as wide open as he said he was, and really just take a look at the offense, because there's a lot of things that we need to take a look at. But anyway, okay, I'm going to stop getting distracted here, and then we're going to switch topics, ladies and gents. We're going to switch topics. Okay, so like I said, this article is from The Athletic. The author is Joe Buscaglia, very talented journalist. I love what he does. He puts out great work. And surprisingly enough, most of the time when I log on to this website, it has me like pay $2 a year or something like that. But for some reason, this article was free. I absolutely loved it. I was literally this close to buying the $2 subscription. It's so funny, right? I'm like hesitant in paying $2 a year, but I'll go out and I'll drop like $150 at happy hour, right? No questions asked. Or like I'll go to the Bills store and drop like $500 on like new Bills gear, like no questions asked. But $2 a year, I don't know. That's just how I am. Why am I like that? I don't know. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. All right. Anyway. So the biggest thing that I loved was that Josh Allen apparently looked fantastic. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I know that it was in shorts. They did have somewhat of pads on, but apparently in 11-on-11 drills, my guy Allen looked absolutely crazy. And the one thing that I love seeing from this portion of it, solid protection in front of him as well. And hear me out. Allen held firm in the pocket, baby. That's what we want to hear. We heard him say during his first press conference, he was saying, listen, I need to start adapting the way that I play. I cannot be consistently going out there and feeling like I need to be everything. Running back, quarterback. I know it's practice, ladies and gentlemen, but the fact that he said that he held firm in the pocket and he had solid protection, I would love to see who was lined up on the offensive line at first team. I really wonder if Osiris Torrance was there, like at guard, but maybe this article will shed a bit more light into that. But two things I absolutely loved, seeing these adjectives of like laser throws, was manipulating the Bills defense. And then look at that. And so all of you Khalil Shakir fans over here, right? So I guess Allen fit one right in between some defenders, hit Khalil Shakir, which a lot of you guys are very excited about. A lot of you guys want Shakir to be our number one slot guy that's not named Dalton Kincaid. So that's always good. And so it required an excellent off-body catch. Not surprised about that because Shakir showed some flashes as far as his athleticism and crazy catches. And then look at that. Then Allen manipulated the defense with his eyes off of his eventual target and came back to Gabe Davis for a deep touchdown throw that was perfectly on target. Ladies and gents, Gabe Davis is on a mission this year. We need this absolute hoss to go out there and earn a contract from the Buffalo Bills or somebody else, really. It's going to be difficult next year because there's going to be a lot of unrestricted free agents. We're going to have to make some very difficult decisions. But half the reason why I'm high on Gabe Davis this year is just because the man has a lot to play for. Jason Phillips is coming in saying, what Bills defense? Oh, man. I will give it to you. And so the Broncos defense is nice. In fact, I feel like and so I thought your defense was wasted last year. Amazing defense. It's really sad that a dude like Hopkins is only worried about money, but it really doesn't surprise me either. At the end of the day, I mean, he's probably just being like, yeah, like I have like a 1 in 32 chance of winning a Super Bowl, or I have a 100% chance of getting the bag. It's hard to say, right? Like it's hard to say what decision we would make in that specific scenario, right? Like us as just normal people, right? Like if someone was just like, hey man, like you want to come here for a Super Bowl run, or dude, do you want $80 million guaranteed? Like that's like generational wealth. Like you're thinking about your family. You're like, my wife, my mom will never have to work again. So I try to look at it from an objective standpoint. Is it annoying? Absolutely. But here we are. Okay, so Gabe Davis looked great. And then he also connected on an intermediate deep throw toward the sideline that split two coming defenders, which the details in the notebook read an absolute dart. Okay, beautiful. Overall, and so Allen went 9 of 14 with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the only two of the incompletions he did have were intentional throwaways. And the 2 others needed a good pass breakup from a defender, which further explained his excellent performance. That's great to see. I am absolutely ecstatic that Allen is staying in the pocket. I'm super glad that he is getting good protection. In fact, I do want to hear from you guys on this topic right before we go to the next one. This next topic is about Sherfield. Do you foresee Josh Allen actually sticking to his word this year and like limiting the whole like crazy run Josh Allen and like him actually try and stay in the pocket? Like, what do you think about that? Sound off in the chat and let me know what you think. And do you think you'll still be the same quarterback? Because that's the new narrative that's been going around. That's the new narrative that has been going around. I think I heard it from TD or somebody else was talking about this. And they were saying, oh, man, if Josh Allen couldn't run, he wouldn't even be top 10, top 15. So I want him to prove the whole world wrong that he is still a top 3 quarterback in this league, even if you were to take his legs away from him. Okay, so sound off in the chat. Let me know what you think. Do you think Josh Allen is actually going to live by his word and attempt to focus his game on being in the pocket? So Joshua Richardson's coming in saying that Josh Allen. So Josh Allen will run only if he has to. Mike Green says Allen is going to do Allen stuff and do what he has to do to win. I agree, man. I hate when people get upset about a lot of this and they're like always talking about, hey, man. And so they're like, hey, man, listen, like Josh runs too much. I feel like that's part of his game. That's a part of his game. That's what makes him so great. That's why it's been masked that we've had so many offensive line issues for the past year, because Josh Allen's ability to scramble out of trouble completely masked the fact that we have some issues on our offensive line. So I think it wasn't even to a point where Josh Allen wanted to run. It was to a point where he had to, right? He had to at that point. He is going to run, but a lot less. I still like those designed runs too. I don't care what anybody says. I do like the designed runs. I just don't like the, I don't know, like the consistent scrambles. I mean, I say that, but I do love when I see my boy hurdle somebody. I do love like when it's like 3rd and 12 and like, oh, things are looking bleak. And then Josh Allen busts off one for like 22 yards. I think everyone likes that. Vegas K is coming in saying, I still want him to be him, but also I don't want him to do everything. I agree. But like I said, now that hopefully we have a pretty solid slot option, we have a decent run game, we're not going to be seeing the same thing that we did last year, and our offense is going to look marginally different. He'll stop maybe a little bit, but that's who he is. He's still going to run a decent amount. I'm fine with it. I wouldn't be mad. Oh, man, we got the Marines in here, baby. We got the Marines, man. Absolutely love it. Like I said, my brother's a Marine. Absolute stud. Mike, I'll have to hit him up for the specifics. But I know that he was infantry. And so I know that he was in the infantry. So I think it all depends on how well the O-line holds up, but he will absolutely run. However, I'd hope he'd get down instead of running through people. Just give me like 1 or 2 Allen hurdles next year. I'm fine. Like, I don't need to see him like shoulder down like a big ass linebacker or anything like that. Dick J's like, why are we trying to neuter our dog? I love that. Dude, I love that. Don't neuter our dog. That's a merch idea. That's a merch idea, baby. So Kim said that Josh should run once in a while instead of keep the defense off guard. I definitely get that. He'll still do his thing when he needs to, but more like the 2020 season. I would love that. I am hoping for that 2020 season. COVID football, man, was different. COVID football was different. Love the hurdles. Austin loves the hurdles. My boy Austin comes down and visits me in Myrtle Beach every now and again. Last time we hung out, we had a pretty good time. Next time he comes down, we got to golf. Hoping he does a better job of staying in the pocket, but to take his legs out of the game would be foolish. Definitely agree. David Schuler is coming in. And so it depends on how well the offensive line moves this offseason workout. If the offensive line is significantly better, I trust Allen. If the offensive line is the same, he'll run. It's not even that he will. He'll need to. He'll absolutely need to. Definitely crazy. Wild. Mesothelioma. And so a nice stiff arm once in a while, Debbie. I definitely agree. A nice stiff arm is always good to see from Josh Allen when he just grown man somebody. I love when I see my boy grown man a dude. When Josh Allen figures out how to lead receivers, watch out. Man, I think it's this year. I think this man's stepping in his prime right now. I really think that he's stepping in his prime. No, don't. My nephew loves that show. And there was a time where that song was stuck in my head for a month straight. Baby shark, do, 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 do. Yeah, no, done. That's slander. In fact, what I'm about to do, like I'm about to ban do, 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 do on my stream where it can't even be put in the live stream. It just can't even be done. Hit that like button. Dan, done. 716. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, best way to support this channel is simply just by hitting that like button. It's completely free. It takes less than a second, and it helps me out tremendously. It helps me out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Love you guys. Without further ado, last Josh Allen take, and then we're going to move on to the next thing that we learned from minicamp outside of the Diggs drama, obviously, because there's more football we have to talk about. Josh will be different this year. Good we got the drama out now. He's got much more of a drive now. He needs to get out of his own head. Absolutely love it. Andy Johnson. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Dan, I just set TD as my profile picture. Ladies and gentlemen, I once made TD Finstock 3 years ago on the AFC's roundtable. He tried betting me that the Bills would not sweep the Dolphins. We did. And then once I won, his punishment was that he had to wear a Buffalo Bills shirt the next time the Bills played the Dolphins. It was absolutely hysterical. If I can find the clip of that video, I, in fact, will play it right now on the stream. It is that funny. It is that funny. John Marlowe saying 4 likes. No, there's no way people are disrespecting me that bad, bro. There's absolutely no way that I'm being disrespected that bad, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, man, my biggest thing is that, like, I just love that, like, you guys tune in all the time, honestly. And so if you want to smash the like button, you can. But let's see. Oh, no, there's more than that. There's 45 likes. There's 45 likes being good. And so I just liked myself. Okay, anyway. Let's get back to business, ladies and gents. Okay, Sherfield connecting with Allen once again. I'm not going to lie to you. When I saw that Sherfield was added to this roster, I was like, oh, okay, like a Miami leftover, one of the two. But everyone's been high on this dude. Some of the clips I have seen, there's a lot of promise here, and I think this guy might actually make this team and be a contributor. Anyway, apparently, right according to this take, Sherfield has stepped up and has been a favorite of Allen's. Of Allen's 12 attempts that weren't clear throwaways, he targeted Sherfield 4 times for 3 completions. That is huge. What are we using Sherfield for? Is that our slot guy? Is Trent Sherfield going to be our slot guy? Is it not Khalil Shakir? How are we going to move? Because, let me see. How tall is Trent Sherfield? I feel like he's undersized. Let me see. No, he's 6'1". Yeah, he's 6'1". He's not small by any stretch of the imagination. What if he's on the outside? What if he's on the opposite side of Diggs this year? Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. What if Sherfield is on the opposite side of Stephon Diggs this year and it's not Gabe Davis? And I mean, obviously, in some packages, Gabe Davis might be on the outside, something along those lines. But, dude, he's bigger than I thought. He's a lot bigger than I thought. And apparently, Josh Allen's absolutely loving this guy. He's fast, too. What's his 40? Trent Sherfield 40-yard dash. Trent Sherfield's 4.45. What was Stephon Diggs? Stephon Diggs 40-yard dash. 4.46. So him and Stephon Diggs basically have the exact same speed, exact same size. Stephon Diggs' height, I'm pretty sure Diggs is 6 foot flat. He's 6 foot flat. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, interesting. Very, very excited about Trent. And Josh said that Trent has good hands. Sign me up. Okay. Anyway, let's keep reading. And so on his first target, Sherfield went into his break and came out of it with ample separation from the defender. Okay, so he's breaking ankles out there, something you absolutely love to see. And the two connected on the second target on a fired-in pass over the middle of the field that gave Sherfield room to roam after the catch. Sherfield was also an open target and the recipient of the absolute dart that we heard about earlier, dart downfield, down the sideline. And the only ball Sherfield didn't bring down was a pass deep down the field that needed a pass breakup from a defender. Wow. Sounds like we may have we found our wide receiver number 2? Have we? Is this too much of an overreaction from just an article that I'm reading and a couple of videos from training camp? Like, more than likely. But did we potentially find our wide receiver number 2 in Trent Sherfield? I'll tell you what, a lot of Dolphins fans I talked to, they loved Trent Sherfield. They thought that he was an absolute dog. I'm saying from what I'm seeing right now, his size, his speed, the fact that Josh Allen, quote unquote, loves this guy, absolutely loves him. Is that our wide receiver too? Is that the answer to our question? Maybe he's been on this roster this entire time, ladies and gents. I don't even know. Okay. And so it's always a good rule of thumb not to go overboard with performances from May and June workouts. But of the players vying for the third receiver behind the starters, Diggs and Gabe Davis, Sherfield has stood out the most this spring. So Sherfield is having the best camp out of all the receivers, not named Diggs and Gabe Davis. That's not a slight to Shakir and Hardy, as they've also made some good plays this spring. But Sherfield has consistently stood out during open practices. Is this a sleeper? Is this a sleeper, ladies and gentlemen? Is this a sleeper? Kim Betts is coming in asking, do you think we keep 7 wide receivers? I don't think so. And so I think we're going to stay true to how we typically build out rosters. I think it's going to be, dude, Don 716. Bro, I told you. I said, is it an overreaction? Probably. But is he wide receiver number 2? Is he? I don't know. We don't know. Could be. Let me dream, Don 716. Let me dream with my wild takes. All right. Jason Phillips says definitely an overreaction, but who cares? Dreams are made at minicamp. I like that too. And so along the way, he's impressed Allen with his work ethic and clear ability to get open as a dependable target in practice setting. Sherfield seems to have the skill set to play multiple positions within the Bills' offense, perhaps even as the understudy to both Diggs and Davis. The next task for Sherfield is to show that his excellent spring can translate into training camp when the pads go on and the defenders are allowed to get more physical. I know, exactly. Definitely overreaction Thursday here, ladies and gentlemen. Overreaction Thursday. Maybe we found our wide receiver too. Maybe I'll be sitting here in October being like, I told y'all, wide receiver number 2, 1,000-yard season receiver. Probably not. But listen, that's good news. I feel like all of us should be happy about that. Okay. All right. What do y'all feel about Sherfield? Are you happy? Are you still thinking that our wide receiver room is missing something significant, right? I hate to get overhyped during the offseason, especially in May and June, bro. Especially in May and June. It's shorts and T-shirts, bro. Like, how do we know? How do we know how good they are without any sort of, like actual contact? We'll figure it out. But, like, what do you feel about Sherfield? Does he have the opportunity? Sports, dude. Sports Dom's coming in saying, I think Sherfield is going to surprise a lot. Are there any Dolphins fans in here? And so normally they are, but like they normally only come in like when something bad happens to the Buffalo Bills. Some of them come in and show me some love on a regular basis. Where's my boy Glenn? Glenn's always in here. Someone needs to make a compilation of every TD Live game freak out. Do it. Oh my God, do it. Send it to me. I would dedicate a stream reacting to it. Just sent you the clip on Twitter. All right. So if anybody doesn't know, okay, this is what went down. Hold on. Okay. All right. So, like I said, just some context. Let me remove this and then we'll go right back into it. But so me and TD had a bet 3 years ago. And it was the 2020 season. Yeah, it was the 2020 season. And then I told him, I said, yo, if the Bills win this first matchup, which they did by a landslide, I said the next Bills matchup, you need to wear a Bills shirt while you stream. Look at this absolute gold. Okay? Look at this absolute gold we got right here.
And they still
And so I'm pretty sure that was like a touchdown pass from like Josh Allen that just like sealed the game. Oh my God, it was perfect. Poor TD. Poor TD. Listen, man. My guy knows it. Pound that like button like it owes you money. Pantherology, absolutely. Love that. Mike Green's coming in saying, I graduated from UNCW after I got out of the Marines. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I went to Coastal Carolina University. Not too far away from there. Cody comes in and says, the Bills canceled the last minicamp. They did, but it's super uniform. Several organizations cancel it entirely. Sometimes they cancel the last day. It's sort of like you go to your last day of school when you're a kid and they say, hey guys, we're just going to watch a movie for the rest of the day. Start summer vacation early. It builds rapport. It builds a good culture. It builds a good culture for everybody. But Buffalo Motivated says, I need that video as my morning alarm clock. Absolutely. By the way, thank you for sending that gold over to me, Andy. It was always good. I love showing that sort of thing. I love showing the pain of my boy. Pantherology, he's a regular guest on this show. He's a regular guest on Don Mafia Live. Great Panthers YouTuber. Definitely go check him out. He's actually going live, I think, in like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to discuss Panthers, NFL stuff. Great content creator. And my personal friend. In fact, me and him are going golfing on Saturday. I'm very bad at golf. So, Clay, I'm not sure if I told you. But first off, I do need some shoes to borrow. And number two, we're playing best ball, or otherwise that's going to be a very, very long round of golf. Anyway, let's get back into the storylines. Baby. All right, Bills minicamp. So far we've already learned about Josh Allen's looking super tight, looking very good. He's throwing lasers. He's throwing absolute lasers. He's getting good protection. He's staying in the pocket. He's demonstrating chemistry with Trent Sherfield, who I just ended up going out and saying might be our wide receiver 2. Probably the largest like overreaction in Bills content creator history, but this is my show, so let me be crazy if need be, and we'll go from there. So it's a good candle to have everyone not practice on the last day of 3 days, but bad culture to have one player not show up on the first day. Sounds sus. Very, very. I wish I had all the answers, Cody. I don't. In my opinion, I think Sean McDermott had that plan from the jump and before all that happened. But like I said, bro, like it's so funny because this hobby or this career, like just giving sports takes, I've never seen somebody have such a successful career for being wrong as often as sports analysts are, or people that talk about sports are, right? I feel like the reason why they have such long careers is because if they're right, then they're praised. If they're wrong, they get trolled. But you know what that means? Attention, both ways. That's why these careers last so long. It doesn't matter if somebody goes on there and starts talking about a sport they have no idea. I could go on and start talking about soccer in Europe. about the Premier League. I've never watched soccer in my entire life. I don't know the rules to soccer, okay? I guarantee you I would have a successful career as an analyst because people would just look at me being like, does this guy know what the fuck he's talking about? I would draw attention. It's a beautiful thing. We got Jason Phillips coming in saying Sean Payton told my Broncos we sucked too much last year to get the day off. Oh, dude, that's a coach right there. I like it. Hopefully Sean Payton doesn't reinstitute Bouncy Gate, okay? Especially against my team. Don't reinstitute Bouncy Gate against the Buffalo Bills, por favor. So Pat saying Diggs, Davis, Sherfield, Knox, Kincaid, Shakir, Hardy. That's our 7. Let's run it. And luckily, Knox and Kincaid are tight ends. So Diggs, Davis, Sherfield, Hardy, Shakir, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I think Justin Shorter is probably going to make the team too. Not unless we pick up somebody random or say that we make a last-minute trade for Hunter Renfrow, who I would love. But here we are. And so I think I might start a YouTube channel or just more TikTok, just being a TV troll and basically posting videos of him losing his mind. Probably a good idea. You'd probably get views. Dunn716 is calling that Shorter will make it for special teams and or red zone. So the TBF, he probably will. And he had the tight ends as part of all that 7. Bills bounties. You keep away Sean Payton's bounty system far away from me, brother. You keep that man's bounty system as far away from me as humanly possible. Look at Nick Wright. He meat rode Kansas City to a hosting job. Look at Kyle Brandt. He meat rode Buffalo. Dude, like I said, listen, man. Being a sports analyst, if you can get your foot in the door, it's the easiest way to have a long career. Because no matter what, if you're right, you get attention. If you're wrong, you get attention. It's a beautiful thing. It's an absolute beautiful thing. And attention pays the bills for those guys. So when every certain person meat rides a certain team, like Nick Wright with the Chiefs, everybody does. Everybody meat rides somebody. Like, I mean, I meat ride the Bills. It sounds so weird. Oh, my God, that sounds so weird. Yeah. Yeah, no one ever clipped that. I'm sorry I thought into the tight end was included, but that's even better for us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Those two are absolutely monsters. And I really hope that Dawson Knox, which, by the way, is our next topic, he was hurt day 1 of minicamp. We definitely need to talk about this, unfortunately. Hopefully it's nothing too significant. I don't believe it is too significant. But ever since we got Kincaid, I feel like everyone has been like thinking like, okay, Dawson Knox is just going to translate or transition into more of a blocking role. I hope that's not the case. I hope he's still involved in the passing game. I really do. Kincaid really isn't much of a blocker, man. He's not much of a blocker. He's a glorified receiver. So I don't see them switching off, but hopefully our offensive line is just doing what they do and make it work. And Delusional Patriots fan says, don't worry, Dan, it's Pride Month. You asshole. Deborah, thank you. Deborah, thank you so much. That was so very kind of you. So very kind of you. I definitely appreciate all of the love. I definitely appreciate all of the support. Like I said, guys, honestly, like just the fact that and so 80 to 90 of you are tuning in each and every single like Monday through Friday morning at 11 a.m. EST means the absolute world to me. It's crazy. And this stuff right here is just going absolute above and beyond. I thank you for your generosity. And more importantly, I thank you for coming in and tuning in right to my show. I love being able to entertain you guys. Hopefully I do. And we have a long 40 days ahead of us, ladies and gents, before we get any sort of like training camp news but I guarantee you, I have a very exciting offseason planned, and I promise you, you will be entertained between between here and training camp, and then just fasten your seatbelts for when the season starts, because we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff on this channel and also on the AFC's Roundtable. So Lucas is coming in saying, I hope we can do 2 tight end sets, you and me both. I think we have the personnel for it. I think it would be an absolute sin. I feel like it would be an absolute sin if we did not. Want Knox to be 100% healthy. No injury bug this season. I feel like we caught it enough last season, man. Let's hopefully that dark cloud is far away from us at this point. Cook and Harris will make Allen's life a lot easier. I seriously hope that is the case. Z-Mad Mafia, that's a great question because that's the third thing we learned from minicamp. Let's take a look. Oh, no! Get offer? No! And the Athletic. Okay, let me buy this real fast. Fucking A. Of course these people make me buy this thing. All right, I'll buy it. It's for the content. It's for the content, baby. Get offer. 50 cents a week? I think I can afford it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can afford 50 cents a week. All right. So I don't want you seeing my bank account information, y'all. Let's see, I'll be buying a bunch of stuff. Let me see. That's it. $50 a week, baby. Charge the Dan Fund. Save and continue. Bang, bang. We back. Declined. No, I'm just kidding. Create password. Welcome to the Athletic. Okay, listen, I want to get back to that article I was reading, boy. There it is. All right, here we go. All right, ready? All right, here we go. Let's share the screen again. We are back in action, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in action. Crispy is saying, what do you do for work? This, man. This. I'm a full-time content creator, YouTuber. I was in Silicon Valley for the longest time. I was a software engineer for a little bit. I was a sales guy for a little bit. I was able to amass a whole, a lot in savings. And then as of 2 months ago, I decided, you know what? I'm doing this I'm doing this full time. I'm taking the risk. I'm taking the leap of faith. And yeah, man, it's great. So I am giving myself until the end of this season to see if I can truly make this a thing. So far, it's been great. It's been really good. So I have like a bunch of savings to like lean back on, say that I have slow months. But I mean, as far as lifestyle, like nothing really has changed. And I fucking love this, man. I love talking about the Bills. I love talking about football. This has always been a dream of mine to do this full time. So I'm taking a jump, baby. I'm taking a jump. And so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And y'all's support and hitting that like button helps me through that journey. And I appreciate that. And so are you dumping your crypto? Donnie, let me tell you what, man. I liquidated my crypto a long time ago when that first crash came up. I still have a little bit of Ethereum, a little bit of Bitcoin, but yeah, no. I saw the writing on the wall in that issue. What elf bar? And so you rocking. And so I got Beach Day 1. I got Peach Ice right now, man. It's Peach Ice. It's a bad habit. I do need to quit. Back in the day, I used to smoke cigs, and I smelled like shit all the time. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to smell like shit anymore. I don't want to smell like a cigarette. So I picked this up with the intention of me weaning myself off. But then that just didn't happen, right? Like 4 years later, here I am. But it'll happen. It'll happen. And so if the Bills win the Super Bowl, for sure, all my stress will be gone. Maybe we'll see. Andy Johnson says, I hope you afford it. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you, Vegas. Dunn716 is saying no football. That's when you need to go into other sports. Yeah, man, for sure. I'm thinking about going on ahead and it's going to be a football channel only. Like at this time, I was like sort of battling back and forth where like I was like, hey, man, like maybe I should start covering the Sabres too. But there's a lot to talk about, especially with the NFL. Like right between TikTok and right between like YouTube and stuff along those lines. Like you can make it work. In fact, I actually prefer the offseason for content purposes. Because I can be creative with stuff, right? Like during the season, it's only like game preview. Like let's watch the film. What happened during this game? Let's interview the person that we're playing this week. It's very uniform. The off season is where I can be more creative, and it's pretty good. Like views definitely aren't the same. Like views like during the season are fucking crazy, but it's still enough to get it down. You know what I mean? Donnie is saying there's no data that suggests vaping is harmful. We're just out here switching. Yo, dude. We're just out here rolling the dice. Yo, we're out here rolling the dice with vapes. Jordan is coming in. Great question. Could you see Klein, Basham, Lawson, or Epinesa as trade candidates? I'll tell you what. The only person that I think that another team would trade for, right? Another team would shell off an asset for is Epinesa. I do think that Klein, Basham, and Lawson are all release candidates, but the only trade candidate I'm seeing on this list is Epinesa. Cody. Dan, you and Brandon Perna should do a stream together sometime. Me and Perna, when the Bills made the playoffs in 2020, I was on his podcast 2 weeks in a row talking about the Buffalo Bills. Him and his one buddy. He's a great dude, man. Very humble, very down to earth. Like, I remember when I first started YouTube, I had like 1,000 subscribers, and I DM'd Perna, and I said, hey, man, I would love to collab with you. And he was like, yeah, dude, sure. I was like, oh, my God, this guy has like, 300,000 subscribers, and he wants to work with me. That's insane. So very cool dude. I hope that we'll be able to work together this year when the Bills play the Broncos this year. But he's one of my favorites. Him and Tom Grassi are really, really good. I feel bad too because Tom actually so Grassi reached out to me and he asked if I wanted to like be interviewed like during his 30 and 30. He wanted me to be a part of that video where he would interview me outside of the stadium. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it work. That's been a collab that I've been wanting to do for a long time too. Like both of those dudes are like both of those dudes are huge inspirations of mine. And like half of the reason why I like started and like I took this leap of faith of being like, dude, like I'm going YouTube full time because I just look at those two dudes. I'm like, okay, it can be done. Let me do it. Okay. Anyway, my ADD has gotten the best of us. Let's figure out what's going on with No Knox on Wednesday after Tuesday's scare. Okay, so as many of you know, yesterday we saw Dawson Knox with a sleeve on his leg. Let me pull up a picture for everybody so we can see in case you didn't see it. It's not a cast, so that's good. We'll go Dawson Knox sleeve. Let's try that. Twitter search engine, man. There it is. Okay. All right, so dude, man. Going ahead, I'm going to present one more screen. Stop the screen. This is what Dawson Knox ended up having on practice yesterday. He was walking around. As you can see, it looks like if he was wearing like yoga pants or like leggings, somebody ripped off the other leg. But that's some sort of compression sleeve on his leg. It's a good thing because I'm looking at it right now, ladies and gents, and I'm not seeing anything that's making me say, oh, no, like this is like a super significant injury. I don't think it is. I think that this right here should probably be something that makes us optimistic, and the Bills are simply just being cautionary at this point. So super, super cool when it comes into it. But anyway, stop sharing that. We will get back to the article. Let's talk about it. Okay, share. Boom. All right. Anyway, no, that's not what I want. There you go. Boom. All right. So with that scare on Tuesday, and so on passing, like played like drills, starting tight end Dawson Knox went up for a catch, and Taylor Rapp was the one that ended up tackling him and getting that injury. It's okay. Dogs be dogs. Second-year quarterback Kyler Elam charged at the ball, and while trying to break up the pass, made accidental contact with Knox, who went down to the turf and stayed down to get something on his leg checked out by the athletic training staff. He eventually rose to his feet and rejoined his teammates on the sideline, and the alibi walking gingerly along the way. Knox didn't take a rep for the rest of Tuesday's practice, and the team shut him down for Wednesday's session as well. There hasn't been any clarification as to the severity of Knox's injury at this point, but the staff leaving Knox alone right after checking him on Tuesday is a good sign. So that is solid. Vaughn Miller was also out. Same thing with Jordan Phillips as well, who might be a release candidate. I hope not. I think that he's great veteran leadership. I think if he stays healthy, he's a solid defensive tackle. Cam Dantzler wasn't there, which is interesting. And then Zach Davidson is actually on the IR now. But Zach Davidson was one of our tight ends. I just don't see him making this team in the first place, but here we are. Looks like Dantzler participated in Tuesday practice, but was excused from Wednesday's practice for personal reasons. As for Davidson, the team placed him on injured reserve Wednesday, opening up a roster spot. So keep a lookout for us bringing in somebody soon. Okay, how the guards fared without pads. This is what I feel like we want to hear right now. And so you should collab with Andy Chang for the win. He's the Vikings guy, right? Definitely always down with that. Chris is coming in saying, go Bills, Bison, Sabres, Bulls, and Bandits. Do it, baby. Okay, so the guards, as we can see, Ryan Bates worked well with Spencer Brown on several occasions throughout the 2 days. Granted, these guys aren't wearing pads either, guys, so let's not get too excited about this. Doing well at coming together and the communicating on the combination blocks of Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver. McGovern also showed a good rapport with Deion Dawkins on some reps littered through the minicamp as well. Rookie Osiris Torrance, this is who we want to hear, stood up well for the most part in a good test against defensive tackles Poona Ford and Tim Settle. I'm not sure if I like that word for the most part, but hey, he's a rookie. He's a rookie, baby. Let's make it happen. And so you can only take offensive line performance in the spring so far without pads, but Allen had ample time to operate during the minicamp, which is a good start. That's good. I love that. And then this right here. Oh, wow. There's another storyline I absolutely like. Benford says this. Apparently, Benford's about to be our CB2. That's what all the signs are suggesting at this point, ladies and gentlemen. That's what all the signs are suggesting at this point. It sounds like that Christian Benford is about to be our starting CB2. That starts to make you question, why the hell did we draft Kaiir Elam? Why the hell did we draft Kaiir Elam, right? But it's looking like Benford's going to be CB2 this year. I thought he did good. There's no knock against Benford. And there's always going to be those late-round draft picks that come in and they surprise people. They're like, holy shit, this guy's a hell of a lot better than our first rounder. It could happen, but I don't know what they're planning on doing with Kaiir, man. That's some wild stuff. And so the Bills have left the door open for a cornerback competition for the second year straight. And so far, it will only be for one spot rather than two. Dane Jackson has fared well throughout the open practice, and Wednesday, Christian Benford put together a pair of excellent pass breakups and tight coverage. He helped to force the only incompletion when Allen targeted Sherfield, and later in the day, Benford broke up a Matt Barkley pass intended for Desmond Patman. Jackson, Benford, and the 2022 first-round pick Kaiir Elam will likely remain in a battle when the Bills return for training camp in late July. When asked about the cornerback job, the Bills said the starting job would go to the players who earn the role, regardless of contract or draft status, making the competition likely wide open. Much like with the middle linebacker, it's fair to expect the cornerback competition to extend through all of camp and into the preseason until the Bills find the best running mate for Trey White. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think? Yeah. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about Benford? We go on ahead, right? We go on ahead. We draft Kaiir Elam first, whatever. That's good. But now Benford, right? Like, he won the starting job last year. Looks like he's about to do it again this year. I mean, I thought Kaiir looked good. In fact, you know what we got to do? We got to look at film during right during Bills Mafia happy hour. I feel like we need to. That's wild. No, I heard that Dane is really good, and the Elam and Benford are right up there with him. We drafted Elam because we couldn't have known Benford would be this good or he'd even be there in the draft. It's wild. It's wild how these things work out, right? May the best man win. Give us the best opportunity. Give us the best possible player out there, and things are looking solid. Mike Green is coming in saying, if McD does zone still, then the benefits Benford as Elam came from a man-to-man defense. I think that's the move right there, man. I think that's the move when it comes down to it. I really do. I think that's just how it works. So CB2 Benford. And then last but not least, dude, I didn't even see this storyline right before I even pulled this up, but this is solid. This is solid. Granted, like I said, this dude, this homie is not in pads, so we really don't know. But if this guy can step up, Miller and Phillips get all the attention for the long-term injuries working to get back, but reserve offensive tackle Tommy Doyle has been on a similar path throughout spring workouts. A fifth-round pick in 2021, Doyle suffered a torn ACL last September, remarkably playing through it because the Bills had no other available offense. Oh, I didn't know that shit. And so I didn't know he played through the ACL. It's fucking terrible. His season was over days later, and they placed him on injured reserve. And throughout OTAs, Doyle sat out all of the 11-on-11 work, but mandatory minicamp marked a huge marker for Doyle as he worked in team drills for the first time since his season-ending injury. That step likely puts him in a great spot for training camp in late July, not only to be healthy and ready to play, but to compete for the Bills' primary reserve tackle role. Does he take it over from yeah, I'm excited about that. I cannot not be excited about that. It's a beautiful thing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Don Mafia Live. As always, I will be live for Bills Mafia Happy Hour at 5 p.m. EST. So if you want to pop into that, we'll be going through some film if I can figure it out. That's for sure. I might just need to hit up TD for his login so I can go ahead and just get the film that I need. But we're going to be going through some film on that Bengals game. So if you drink, have a beer because it's going to be a painful stream. Definitely always a solid thing. But thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of Don Mafia Live, guys. Once again, make sure you go get your Monta sleep mask. Literally the best in the damn game when it comes down into ensuring a good night's sleep. Great gift for anybody. I love this thing. Link is in the description and pinned in the live chat. And my code gets you 10% off. Thank you, guys. We'll see you a little bit later. And before I let you go, you better always remember, let's go Buffalo.